That night, the sky stretched above like an endless canvas of ink, broken only by the hazy glow of streetlights reflecting off rain-slick pavement. A gentle drizzle tacked out a lulling rhythm against Emily Parker's windshield, each drop racing into translucent rivulets that blurred her weary eyes. She tightened her grip on the steering wheel, exhaustion heavy in her bones after a relentless day. Beside her in the back seat, little Noah slept, his tiny chest rising and falling in perfect harmony with the rain's soft melody. Max, her faithful German shepherd, lay curled at Noah's feet, ears perked, eyes flicking toward the dark road, vigilant as any guardian. And in that fragile peace, fate prepared its shattering twist. Without warning, a shadow hurtled into the beam of Emily's headlights, a deer black as the night itself. Her heart leapt into her throat as she stomped the brake, but the slick surface betrayed her. The car fishtailed wildly, a metal beast out of control, before smashing into the roadside barrier. Time collapsed. The deafening crunch of impact, Emily's body flung forward until the seatbelt bit into her chest, and the world flipped sideways into a cold ditch. Silence fell, broken only by Noah's sharp cry, a sound that cleaved Emily's heart in two. Dazed and bleeding, Emily tried to move. Pain shot through her left arm, trapped beneath the dashboard's crushing weight. Warm blood trickled down her forehead, stinging her vision. Every inhale was ragged, her chest a cage of agony, and behind her eyes panic bloomed as Noah's cries rose in urgency. Her phone lay shattered on the console. The emergency button on the dash sat impotent, power gone, help unreachable. Outside, only the rain persisted. A cold witness to their plight, a soft whimper drew her gaze backward. There Max shook himself free of the wreckage, fur matted and soaked. He locked eyes with Emily, concern shining in his brown gaze. Instinct hummed between them. She couldn't move, couldn't save Noah. But Max could. Struggling through the pain, Emily whispered hoarsely, "Max, you have to help him." The dog's tail gave a gentle thump, a silent vow passing between them. Emily's trembling hands fumbled the straps of Noah's car seat. With agonized determination, she unbuckled her son and wrapped him in his thick blanket. His tiny body, frail and trembling, pressed against her fingers like a hope too precious to lose. Tears mingled with rain and blood on her cheeks as she placed him before Max. "Go," she rasped, voice cracking. "Take him somewhere safe." Max hesitated for only a heartbeat, then clamped his strong jaws around the bundle and bolted into the storm, leaving Emily alone with the wreck. The night pressed in, cold and unyielding, but Max pressed forward, each bound fueled by love. Rain lashed his face, paddles swallowed his paws, and a sharp pain stabbed his hind leg, yet he did not falter. Noah stirred in the blanket, his breath weak, a fragile reminder of the life he carried. Max staggered onto a main road, guided by the rumble of engines and the faint scent of gasoline. In the distance, a tall white structure glowed through the rain, a hospital, a beacon in the tempest. Suddenly, a truck roared around the corner, headlights blinding. Max skidded to a halt, heart pounding, before darting across the slick asphalt. Another vehicle screeched cars, missing him by inches. He raced toward the light, every muscle burning until the automatic doors of the emergency entrance swooshed open. Inside, a nurse froze at the sight. A soaked German shepherd standing guard, a tiny bundle clenched gently in his jaws. Chaos exploded. Nurses and doctors rushed forward, voices overlapping in urgent commands. A gloved hand pried open the blanket, revealing Noah's pale, shivering form. "He's freezing! Hypothermia!" someone yelled as they whisked him away. Max sat back, fur dripping, eyes fixed on the doors as they closed behind the medical team. He had delivered the child, but his work wasn't over. Inside, the neonatal unit hummed with tense energy. Under bright lights, nurses wrapped Noah in thermal blankets, affixing warming pads. Monitors beeped with labored rhythms. A doctor pressed a stethoscope to the baby's chest, murmuring encouragements. "Come on, little one, breathe for me." Each second stretched into an eternity, until a faint inhale rippled through this tiny chest. A collective sigh breathed through the room, but no one relaxed. Noah's condition remained critical. Outside, the rain continued its relentless song. Patrol cars and an ambulance screeched in, flashing red and blue. Detective Logan Carter stepped from his vehicle, eyes scanning the emergency entrance until they settled on Max. The dog's drenched form sat unwavering, gaze locked on the hospital doors. Carter knelt beside him, "You lead us," he murmured, and Max rose, turning toward the road. Officers followed as he trotted through the rain, tail stiff with purpose. They arrived at the crash site in minutes. The mangled car lay in the ditch like a broken toy. Through shattered glass, Carter's flashlight beam found Emily's motionless form, pale and silent. Max let out a strained whimper, the sound of anguish as if he'd lost all hope, until paramedics pried open the door. Emily's chest rose in shallow breaths. A medic's 2 fingers found her pulse, weak but there. In moments she was loaded into the ambulance and whisked away, Max pacing behind on sodden paws, refusing to leave her side. Back inside the hospital, Emily drifted between pain and dreams. Distant voices, the steady beep of a monitor, a sterile antiseptic haze. Then a memory cracked through her haze. Noah's cry, the crash, Max vanishing into the storm. Terror shot through her. She tried to sit up, but agony pinned her, a soft hand on her shoulder. "You're safe," the nurse whispered. "Your son is right next door." Tears blurred Emily's vision as she pushed herself upright and turned toward the incubator. There, bathed in gentle light, Noah lay swaddled and warm, his chest rising in steady, healthy breaths, his head tilted at a slight angle, eyes fluttering shut as if soothed by her gaze. A sob caught in Emily's throat, relief flooding her like sunlight through clouds. Yet as she reached out, a pang of longing struck. Where was Max? A quiet bark answered as the door slid open. Max padded into view, fur still damp, eyes shining with a curious hope. Emily's heart surged, pain forgotten. She beckoned him over. The dog approached, pressing his head into her lap. She cradled him, tears mingling with his fur. "You saved my son," she choked out, voice thick with gratitude. "You saved my family." Max closed his eyes, finally at rest, as if knowing his task was done. Days later, the storm had passed. Golden sunlight streamed through hospital windows, illuminating a quiet room bathed in new life. Emily sat on the edge of her bed, Noah nestled against her chest, his bright eyes fluttering open at the touch of dawn. Max lay curled at their feet, head resting on his paws, watchful and serene. A nurse entered with discharge papers, smiling warmly. "You're both ready to go home." Emily rose gently, supporting Noah against her heart. Max eased to his feet, tail wagging in slow contentment. Together they stepped through the hospital doors into the crisp morning air. Sunlight danced across Noah's tiny face as he gazed up at his mother. Emily looked down at Max, voice trembling with emotion. "We made it because of you. No medal awaited him, just the love of a mother, the gentle coo of her baby, and the promise of a family made whole." In that moment, beneath a sky no longer heavy with rain, a new chapter began for Emily, Noah, and Max. Their bond forged forever by courage, instinct, and an unbreakable heart. The day they returned home felt like stepping into a painting come to life. Sunlight filtered through the living room curtains, casting warm patterns on the hardwood floor where Max lay, paws stretched in contentment. Emily, still tender from her injuries, settled into the couch with Noah cradled gently against her heart, his soft coos mingling with the distant hum of lawnmowers outside. The world felt impossibly serene after the storm's fury. Every rustle of leaves and distant bird call a reminder of life's fragile beauty. Neighbours, having heard the astonishing tale, dropped by with casseroles and quiet smiles, their gratitude palpable in every offering. Each plate of food, each whispered "thank you," felt like a small tribute to Max's unwavering courage. As evening approached, Emily placed Noah in his crib and sank beside Max on the porch steps. The air was cool and fragrant with jasmine from the garden below. Max rested his head on her knee, eyes half closed, trusting and content. Emily stroked his fur, her fingers tracing the scars from shards of glass and brambles. "You're our guardian," she murmured. Above them, the first stars winked awake, silver pinpricks in the deepening sky. Tomorrow promised new challenges, physical therapy, media interviews, the slow rebuilding of normalcy. But for now, they had this perfect moment. Mother, son, and loyal friend bound by an unspoken vow that no darkness, no matter how fierce, could ever break their light. Yet as Emily gazed up at the heavens, she felt a stirring of destiny. One final test loomed on the horizon that would define them all.